Hi there, this is Universal Missionary, and I am here to do another video of Star Trek Timelines. And the this episode is going to be titled Borg Adaptation, or and so the reason for this is that I have not done a video in quite a while on arena battles, and so I think this video is going to be really helpful, and also very important, I think, for all of us. Mainly for me, it's kind of like a milestone, or kind of like a marker, where you kind of deal with the ever-changing um, ever-changing issues when it comes to arena battles. And I think that what's happening now is that a lot of people are choosing certain characters, and everybody's kind of gotten wind of what they really need for battles. And what you have to do is come to the understanding that who you have today is going to have to be changed at some point in time. And so I call it Borg Adaptation because today I'm going to be focusing on Captain's Arena. I might do one particular battle for Admiral and one particular battle for Commander, to make sure that I stay within the 2 weeks and not lose my rank on those. And so, but this month I've really been focusing a lot on Captain, and that is on the middle one, and that's because. Of course, everybody's getting the new schematics, which is the new, I believe, the ISS Avenger. And so you get that as part of your schematics. But you can also get ISS Avenger schematics specifically from pulls that you pick up. So if you manage to actually buy event packs, you will get schematics for the newer ones that were posted, I believe, a few days ago. And so... but right now, I have been in a quandary for several days, in fact, several weeks now, over trying to being able to be successful in the Captain Arena. I don't have any problems with the Admiral Arena, but I definitely also have problems in the Commander area. So at some point in time, I'm going to need to work on that as well. But the Commander area is a little bit more difficult in the sense that it's harder to find the right characters for the new ships that are coming in. And so many of the 2 and 3 star characters that I have that I need to rely upon for a the correct word I am trying to use here is for a versatile attack pool, which means that you have to have enough characters to work with, so that way you can find the right characters for the commander ship. Right now, everybody's focusing on the new Vulcan ship that everybody's basically getting free schematics from. So it's pretty much a free-for-all. I think the new Cavort, the new Klingon Board of Prey, is no longer as good against these new ships that are coming in, simply because, number one, the first reason is that, number one, the new Vulcan ship, it has higher shield and hull vitality. And then second of all, the attack and defense abilities of the new Vulcan ship is comparable, almost the same as the Board of Prey. So I mean, you're going against a real disadvantage. And so because you only have 2 characters to work with, you have to be able to have the right new characters that are coming in, and many of the 2 and 3 stars just simply don't have enough to be comparable against the stats of the new ships that are coming in. Of course, the Board of Prey has the cloak ability, but overall, I think the new ship, the Vulcan ship, has more vitality, so it's able to outlast. But the real issue that I'm going to talk about, of course, is the Captain Arena, and that is because for a long time in the Captain Arena, let me go ahead and talk about the evolution process of ships in the Captain Arena, and that is the first ships, of course, that made real progress, that were pretty much the king of the hill at the time, were the Romulan warbirds, the Deredex Romulan warships. And so the thing is that many of these characters, of course, many of these ships have been changing to better ships over that time. But the first ship, of course, was the Romulan bird. And then after that, I think the new ships that have been coming in have been replacing those with, in particular, the new Borg spheres. And so the new Borg spheres, and this is why I've titled it more or less Borg Adaptation, and that is because we are adapting our abilities to fight and be successful with Borg spheres. None of the other ships have really the capability and the speed that the Borg ship has, although that could become debatable as some of the newer ships are coming in. Of course, that means that you have to have money and dilithium to make the purchases. I have yet to find the ship, but that can really counter against the Borg sphere, especially when you just simply get schematics either from community polls or for free. It just takes a lot longer when you don't have money or dilithium to play with. But anyways, let's go ahead and jump on to the Captain's Arena here. And of course, we'll talk about this event later on another video. But the real issue here today is that we want to go ahead and jump right into the space battles, because it's so important to discuss the upcoming difficulties that everybody's experiencing, and in order to get anywhere, you really have to have the right kind of people, and that is changing ever so constantly. And so that's what we are going to talk about today. And so this is the ship I was referring to in the Commander Arena, the Sura class. So that ship is becoming the better ship now, but only because of the fact that it has higher life, higher hull and such. But let's go ahead and get started. And so here we go. The Captain Division, I'm at rank 504. I've worked very hard to get there, and we are dealing with leadership, leaderboards, and rewards. First of all, let's do a battle right off the hand. That way we can kind of get the idea of what we're really dealing with today. Okay, and so here we go. Here is my crew. This is my new crew today that I'm using for battles. And so I used to have two other people that were replaced here. My original crew was Rurapenta Reed, 1701 Jadzia Dax, the House of Konja, Klingon O'Brien, and I have Dr. LaForge. And so here's where we're dealing with reality here at this point in time, and that is that I'm having to change those because number one, we need to have the right combination. And so the problem that everybody's facing now is these particular characters right here. We have Tamir, we have Ardra, and then of course we have undercover O'Brien. So I'm going to go ahead and selectively choose somebody over here and here. Okay. And I'm actually going to choose somebody else, and I'll explain why here. We'll start with this one here today. Alright. Most of these characters now are having the ability to do multiple amounts of damage upon touch. So when you click on that character is going to have multiple amounts of damage. Okay. Okay, so I was successful here, and so my first victory. So I am at rank 13 today. So why is everybody succeeding, and why is everybody choosing the characters that they are? So let's talk about that here really quick. Okay. And it seems to be like the new adaptation that everybody is choosing on every level is the ability to do multiple amounts of damage. And so the thing is that I don't have certain characters that have that ability, but I am going to go ahead and point them out. The ones that I do have, I will go ahead and share them so that way you understand what you're dealing with today. And the standard crew people that you're using at this point in time will definitely help you out in terms of being able to do damage. But everybody is using the new tactic of multiple damage, so that way you can get brought down quickly. For example, you have Civil War Worf, and he immediately deals 200 damage, and so the tactic that everybody's using is to try to bring down somebody as fast as possible, with, of course, the other abilities, because you really want to try to survive. And so here's another issue, and 18,000 a crit bonus. And so you get a crit bonus when you score a critical hit. So when you score a critical hit, you do the damage plus whatever critical bonuses you get from the crew members or from the ship itself. So when you do a crit, this ship does 5,000 crit bonus, and then of course Undercover O'Brien boosts your evasion by 7 plus 18,000 crit bonus. So he's actually very useful for a lot of people. And then as you were, Reed still has the attack by 9, so he's probably one of the best characters in game, but not the only one that has a high amount of damage hits. I still like to use this character because of extremely high accuracy, repairing your hull, evasion, and some evasion that specifically comes from your equipment bonus. And so let me talk about the last character that I have that I just pulled out, and there is a reason why I'm using him, and that is because I've had to use, I've had to adapt, just like everybody else is. And so here we go. This was the guy I had last. What I would try to do is try to up my, bring my ship back to life with 25% shields. But the problem is that by the time that you get damaged or hurt so bad by somebody else's extra damage, you don't have enough life to really spring back up. And I don't have so much of a problem with that with the Ixtong and the Admiral fights, because of the fact that I have such a crew that has the ability to do damage plus is able to hit really high. So Captain Kern, I use Captain Kern, which is Worf's brother. As you can see, Worf had the 200 damage, but Kern has the ability to do double that. Immediately deals 200 damage, but he has a charge phase. So if you wait 4 seconds, he deals 300% damage. If you last long enough to wait the 8 seconds, provided that you last, then he deals 400% damage. The big drawback for Kern is that his accuracy is quite low. I only have him at 1 star, so if you get him at 4 stars, it's 5, 6, and 7. So that's when he actually becomes a lot more dangerous. His accuracy is pretty decent, which means he's able to hit better. His crit bonus is okay, and his crit rating is at 3%. So he's actually been really good. But earlier today, when I tried fighting, I had difficulty dealing with a lot of losses. So it's a hit and miss for Kern. So let me go ahead and do another one. This time I'm going to go ahead and show you a situation where somebody else is going to be doing, somebody else is going to have a critical partner where they're going to have that ability. And as you can see, everybody's using Ardra, everybody's using Tamir, and everybody's using Klingon Undercover O'Brien. And so everybody that's catching wind of this is actually having the ability to do that. So we're going to go ahead and fight here, and you're going to see what I'm talking about on this video, okay? So if you haven't started adapting your characters to these kind of battles, you need to start doing it now, or you will lose. And so, for the most part, when you're dealing with situations like this, it's probably best that you try to take whatever opportunities you can to bring as much damage. So, if you can last, try to let your charge go up to 400% if you have this character. If not, just go for the middle route and hope for the best. And so that's what I did, and I managed to survive. But you can see how quickly I was brought down by Tamir's 200% damage. And so because she has an attack ability, she comes down hard on mostly everybody. Okay, so for the next one, what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and switch styles here in just a moment, which means that I'm going to go ahead and try to get the other ones out of the way. In the meantime, I am going to go ahead and just do some scans here. Alright. And hopefully the advice that you get today is really going to help you out as well when you're going to be dealing with the event today. Since it's going to be skirmishes, it's going to be very helpful that you have the right crew to bring down your enemies as quickly as you can. You want to save time. You want to be involved in doing everything that you can to getting these battles out of the way as quickly as possible, so you can get rewards quickly, and so you can survive. I mean, when you're doing hull battles, ship battles with your skirmishes, what happens is that at the end of each battle, you need to make sure that you're constantly renewing your whole life. For every battle that you fight, your whole battle goes down. Your whole life goes down, and so you can renew it, but you don't get any rewards. And if you don't renew it, then what happens is that you're risking your ability to win the points that you need to go forward. And so at some point in time, if you die, then that's the end of the skirmish for you, and you've wasted those intelligence reports. And when you successfully do a full skirmish, with the event crew, you get 6,000 points per full skirmish. And so you get 1,000 on the first one, 1,000 on the next one, 1,000 on the third, 1,000 on the fourth, and 2,000 on the fifth. And so what you want to do is, of course, you want to try to bring your enemies down as quickly as possible so you can proceed to the next part of the skirmish fast. And then, of course, you also want to be able to heal your ship so you can avoid having the game do it for you. Once you do it for yourself and you have enough life, then you can choose the bonuses, and that gives you extra honor, extra chronotons, extra credits, extra intelligence, and then I believe you can get up to, as well as the portal pulls. You can on a rare occasion, usually I get one per event, so it's not much, but If that one poll gets to a legend or a behold, you've just simply got something worthwhile, you know. But going back to this, let me just go ahead and do this real quick, and then we'll go ahead and go back to doing another arena battle.
Understood. I will adapt.
I'm doing this quick so that way we can move. I mean, I already know what I'm doing here, so I apologize if I'm not really letting you see anything here. The point is to do those space battles, so let's go ahead and move on. Okay, let's do Admiral. And so this is my crew. My crew is Reed. My crew is Reed. Let me go ahead and make sure I have everybody correct here. And I always want to try to stay on top of this because I want to be ahead of everything. So everything's good. You know, data gives me 20% attack speed, plus accuracy, evasion, crit bonus. Scott gives me tremendous amounts of accuracy and evasion and crit rating. Dr. LaForge gives me tremendous amounts of accuracy and evasion and some crit rating. And Reed gives me some accuracy, a little bit of evasion, and so this is what happens. So we're going to go in there and we're going to fight somebody. And once again, you are going to see characters here that are going to have the ability. So in this one, Kuvma has the ability to, I believe, hit 375% damage on a hit. So what you want to try to do is to avoid this kind of damage is to put yourself on cloak as quickly as possible as soon as he shows up. Okay, so he's gonna show up, and the less time that he's on,
where I come from, that's soda pop. Now this is a drink for a man.
The less time that he's on is less likely that he's gonna be able to bring you down. I'm obviously having trouble here because of the difficulty that I had with the other person's ability to protect themselves. So their evasion was pretty high, so I had a hard time winning on this one. So, but as you can see, I wasn't too far behind. So, at the end of the day, my accuracy was higher than his, but I still didn't win. So, anyways, we can try that again. I don't often lose on Admiral, so hopefully that won't happen again too soon. But anyways, that happens. You know, there's always going to be somebody better than you, man. That's just the bottom line, you know. No matter what you do, you're always going to find somebody that's going to be better than you. But even if you're the best, someone is always going to be gunning for your spot. That's just the way it is, dude, in every player versus player situation.
I will adapt. I will comply.
I am tempted to do a poll with the new event crew today. But I don't want to do that just right now. So let me go ahead and go in here really quick. I've got to get some of my dailies out of the way, so we're doing that while we wait for the next situation. Okay, so here we go. Let's see. So I got Wesley Crusher out of the way.
I always get an
just
A.
1 second. Okay. No. Okay, just bear with me 1 second. So I'll get this one out of the way. And I just want to get him. Hopefully, you are going to be able to do well enough on the event that you will have enough honor. The game has been pretty generous on these kind of events, so you can get the honor. And we're going to go ahead and go over here to the Commander Division. I've really fallen behind on quite a lot here today, and the crew that I have just isn't really adequate anymore to deal with a lot of these battles. And many of the characters that I need are actually, and have actually been frozen to the point where I have to go back in there and I have to look and see who's really going to be adequate for the Surrock ship. But I am working in the background specifically to maximize the best ship out there. I have seen no other ship that really has the ability to counter the Borg sphere. Okay, and so once again, I have failed miserably on this one, which is why I'm where I'm at. So, anyways, at the end of the day, I mean, you know, you lose, you know, you just don't give up. And this is why we have to work on adaptation. You know. Okay. Let's go ahead and do this. I have not done my daily pull. And I would like to do something about that here in just a moment. And I would also like to try to work on building, getting
Acknowledged.
Goranagor up. But before I do that, I have to have enough credits to work on that. I recently posted the video on replications.
I will comply.
I have to do some replications to get Goranagar up to maximum. And then I've got Dr. Soon that I want to work
Understood.
on, but I might hold off on him while I try to get everybody ready for the event. And so okay. So for this particular event, I have set aside about 4,000 credits. I am going to have to use some of them right now. But for the sake of argument, I think I'm just simply going to use the bare minimum for the away missions, and that is the away missions. I just want to get this lady out of the way. And I already have this guy maximized, and so let's get this right here. I need this because Dr. Soon requires a lot of databases, so we're just going to use that to help us out today. And in doing that, I will get money. And in doing that, that will help me boost up my cash, and then I can be able to maximize Goranagar today. Keep in mind, Goranagar is one of the event characters for today's skirmish. Make sure you include him in your ship to automatically get the best bonuses you can for the skirmish. And that will work even if you have only one event character. The game has not yet put a situation to where you have to have more than one event crew in order to get the maximum bonus. So you only need one event crew to get that max bonus. Excuse me. Okay. All right. let's go back, and let's go back to the next battle here today. And so my rank is 191, and just as quickly I move down. That's how fast it is. And okay, here's another character that is worth mentioning. Mother Horda has 200% critical damage immediately upon use. And so, like I said, you can try to avoid these characters. It's probably the best thing to do. But at some point in time, almost everybody is going to have a crit character. I've got Kern, and so I'm going to try to get him up to 4 stars. So I can be able to hit better and be able to do more damage more often. Okay, we will go ahead and work with Tamir and keep doing that. So I hope that this video is informative and it's really helping you out, so that way you know what to do and how to fight whenever you're fighting against other people. You know, make sure to use your timing correctly. I'm already that far down. You can see right there, I went down really fast with this one. So as you can see, I mean that's how everything that's how everything is changing for everybody. So that's how difficult it's becoming to win. You know, in this video, if you have the opportunity to make a comment, I would like to see how you're doing on these particular events. If you happen to be having the same kind of struggles as I am, let me know, because that would really make me feel better and help me understand that it's not just simply me that's going through this. And if I'm being really stupid and I don't really know what I'm doing, you know, then at least I know that by you telling me that you're struggling with that, then I know that I'm not stupid myself. You know, I'm not saying you're stupid. I'm just saying, you know, I know at least you're struggling. And so if it's just me, then, you know, point it out and you know, and you know, I'll take the feedback, you know.
Acknowledged.
We're all human beings. Nobody's perfect here. You know, heck, not even Q is perfect,
I will
you
adapt.
know. God's perfect, but I'm not. You know. Okay, so let me get back over here. I'm trying to get rid of all of the crew here, and so this guy right here, I already have a copy of, so that's 200 points, and I'm just going to go ahead and get him up. And I don't have this guy, but I'm not going to work on getting him up. And it's just that simple. I mean, I need the points, and I'm just going to go ahead and do that right now. By the way, I do not plan on doing space battles for right now, because they will eventually I'm going to use all the energy I can for the skirmish. So right now I just did the away missions because I have to do that so I can be able to get credit for today. All right, so I've moved up to 671. That's how quickly I went down. As you can see, I mean, I was rank 20. Actually, I think I went down to as low as rank 5. but I ended up really doing a lot of damage. And I think let's go ahead and check her out really quick. Um, do your homework. I say this as a piece of advice. Do your homework. Mirulita, I have to do the research, and I actually have her, and I want to go ahead and check to see what abilities she has, so that way you know what you're dealing with when you're fighting these characters. Look at the information. So she's got 1500 to crit rating, so that means the chance of her hitting a critical on a battle has moved up by 15%. And then, of course, she has a crit rating of 148, which means that 1 in 6, she moves up from 15% to 1 in 6, plus whatever the other crew members have and the ship that she's battling with. So, she's more likely to do critical damage and hits, but it's probably not going to be as bad as dealing with somebody like Tamir. Tamir with a Horda. A lot of these characters are now becoming the norm for these kind of battles. So. So I'm not doing really good at all here today. Yeah. Okay, so that was a loss. That was a really bad loss. And as you can see, I did really bad. It doesn't do me much good for me to wait for Kern to be fully charged if I'm at the point of already losing.
I will adapt.
I would rather get 300 and have a chance at winning than wait for 400 and then I get beat before I can be able to unleash the 400%. So, most people want to do just a quick, they want to do some quick damage, and I'm like, those characters are efficient. And mainly the ones that have the attack ability have the best chance of success. Okay, let's go down here to Goranagar. He's been the one that I want to work on. Okay, so he's almost at 100, so what I gotta do to get this guy up is simple. Just to be on the safe side, what I'm gonna go ahead and do is replicate this 3-star pad. I'm gonna replicate this component so that way it will be easier for me. Instead of doing the whole thing, I do one piece that will help me out here. So we're gonna go ahead, we're going to go ahead and use this here. So I used up almost all of my Borg spheres. So, like I said, I'm already maxed out on this. So, I don't really want to spend 250,000. So I'm going to spend a little bit on this here. Okay, and so here we go. And first, Goranagar has been maxed out. And let's go ahead and do another battle, and then we're going to do something a little bit different today. And Okay, let's do this one. Like I said, right now. I'm deliberately trying to avoid anybody that I know for sure has critical hits. I don't know what Audra has. I'm gonna go ahead and look her up and see what abilities that she has, so that way I know how to fight once I get down to that. And there we go. I lost again. And that happens. I mean, like I said, we're dealing with issues where like I said, other people are going to be on top quite often. And so
I will adapt.
And just keep in mind one thing. While you are developing your characters, this is a normal part of the process of winning and losing. Until you get the characters that you want maximized, you're constantly going to be dealing with winning and losing. The chances are going to be much less once you have your characters at 4 or 5 stars. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do this real quick, so I can go ahead and get my sweet bonus here. And we are going to go ahead and go for one event pack, and let's see what we get. Okay, I don't really want to do this, but I want to have a chance at getting Yulgrun or Phlox. Goranagar, I'm going to be okay with, you know. So let's go ahead and do that and see what we get. Okay, Yulgrun. So there we go. Watch me get something else interesting. That'd be nice. Okay, I've got some of the constellation schematics. And okay, and that is all she writes. That is all that I want right there. What will happen is that will allow me to get Yulgrun immortalized, because of the fact that once I get him worked on, he's going to be at 4 stars. And so let's go ahead and look at the new character and let's see how that's going to work today. And you know, I haven't had the chance to look at him, and he's just barely out. So let's look and see what he has to offer. Okay, so I was cloned. So he's already been immortalized by somebody, so that means first to max. He has science, command, and diplomacy. He is a Dominion, Warda clone, diplomat, musician. There we go. This is exactly what I was looking for. And so Yulgrun, once I get him immortalized, will give me the opportunity. And so he's got 2 evasion, but he boosts your evasion by 2. But once you charge him up, his evasion will go up by 1 more, and then by 2 more. So he's not really that great. So probably what's going to happen during the event is we're probably going to be dealing with Goranagar throughout most of the skirmish, at least for me. But he might have some really good equipment bonus, and always keep that in mind. And let's go ahead and go over here.